Marvel Studios has stumbled ever since its inception, but it's safe to say the last two phases have been the biggest struggle that the studio has ever faced. And the blame for this is original characters that are largely unknown. So Disney CEO Bob Iger says it's time to do away with unknown characters and just focus on the A-listers, which is literally the anti-MCU approach. So this is coming at us directly from Bob Iger, who's been talking up the future of the MCU brand and talking about future projects that have been announced, how Marvel Studios got to where they are, and how they intend to get back there. And he said that Marvel Studios has taken many missteps and essentially lost its way, and that they need to find their way again. So going forward, they are only going to greenlight films and projects that guarantee huge returns that are based on fan favorite characters and mostly sequels. No new IPs, and if a new IP is greenlit, it needs to be a huge success. Now, a lot of people are saying this is the smart thing to do because it worked with characters like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, and the Guardians, where they are clearly an example of more sequels and characters that are A-listers, except everybody is dumb for some reason. I will make sure I link to my video on revisionist history, which pissed a lot of people off because people are too stupid and they admit that they're rewriting history and trying to ignore it because I don't know why. The MCU was built on D and C level characters who couldn't even sustain an ongoing comic. Iron Man couldn't sustain an ongoing comic and nobody cared about the character. Captain America was literally spending most of his time on the bench canceled. He spent a good 20 years not having a singular comic. The Hulk, his movies couldn't sell. Thor was literally rejected by every studio. Guardians, a D-list might be a compliment. Ant-Man, C-list, maybe that's his ceiling. Doctor Strange, the same thing. So, revisionist history for the MCU is the same as Star Wars now. People are just rewriting it, and if you say it hard enough, dumb people are going to believe you. So this doesn't make sense to me. He's saying sequels sell, new IPs don't. Okay, explain The Marvels, which is a sequel to Captain Marvel. And a lot of people are now agreeing with him, saying, yep, go back to basics. So people are now saying, well, don't go back to using the Avengers because that's lazy. That's creatively bankrupt. Don't make constant sequels. But then they're saying, but we want constant sequels and we don't want new characters that we don't know of. We want the ones we love. It's literally that Simpsons test audience. What do people actually want from the MCU? If the MCU doesn't use D and C level characters to try to bring them up to mainstream, that's not the MCU anymore. And they found success with Shang-Chi, great reviews, and a box office that's comparable to a lot of Phase 1 and some of Phase 2. So why would you abandon that when you have an install base that's now invested in the characters? It's just puzzling to me. That's the best way to say it. I understand Eternals, because the film failed on Rotten Tomatoes and the box office, well, it did all right for what it was, but the critical reception is the bigger impact on that. So I get that, but going to only what's guaranteed to make you money is literally 3 years from now going to be the punchline of everybody. Oh, Marvel Studios creatively bankrupt. Look, Captain America 5 has to happen. It's just a cycle.